Hi, I'm Taylor.
I'm Autumn.
And we read the book Hedda Gabler by Henrik Ibsen. It's a drama tragedy.
The main characters are George Tesman, who's a genuine man who we find out is actually really naive. And then his wife, Hedda, is thought to be a normal character, but we find out that she is also very deceiving, and she is kind of a con artist in a way. And she is kind of in cohorts with Judge Brock, who is one of George and Hedda's friends, and he handles George's money, and he is found to have a lot in common with Hedda, and they do a lot together.
And then there's Miss Taya, who she's a friend of George and Hedda's, and she is in love with another character, Eilert Lovberg, and he's another main character of the book. He wrote a manuscript that was inspired by Miss Taya, and she has an attachment with him that the book is practically their child, as said in the play. And so our theme of the novel, or the play, is deception, envy, and karma.
We have two excerpts that we're going to read that kind of describe these themes, and they just sum them up really well. Okay, the first one is from Act Number 2, and I'll be Judge Brock.
And I'll be Hedda.
Okay. Hold on. 1 second. Okay. You are not really happy. That is the bottom of it.
I know of no reason why I should be happy. Perhaps you can give me one?
Well, amongst other things, because you have got exactly the home you have set your heart on.
Do you too believe in that legend?
Is there nothing in it then?
Oh yes, there's something in it.
Well?
There is this in it, that I made use of Tesman to see me home from evening parties last summer.
I, unfortunately, had to go quite a different way.
That's true. I know you were going a different way last summer.
Oh, fie, Miss Hedda. Well then, you and Tesman?
Well, we happened to pass here one evening. Tesman, poor fellow, was writhing in agony of having to find conversation, so I took pity on the learned man.
You took pity?
Yes, I really did, and so to help him out of his torment, I happened to say, in pure thoughtlessness, that I should like to live in this villa.
No more than that?
Not that evening.
But afterwards?
Yes, my thoughtlessness and had consequences, my dear Judge.
Unfortunately, that too happens, Mrs. Hedda.
Thanks, so you see, it was this enthusiasm for Secretary Falk's villa that first constituted a bond of sympathy between George Tesman and me. From that came together our engagement and our marriage and our wedding journey and all the rest of it. Well, well, my dear Judge, as you make your bed, so you must lie, I could almost say.
That is exquisite, and you really cared not a rap about it all this time?
No, heaven knows I didn't.
Okay.
So that was portraying our theme of deception, a bit from Judge Brock and Hedda's side, where Hedda is just in the relationship with George for his money, and she's deceiving him in the way, so she's trying to show that she's in love with him, because he's a nice man, and so he's just trying to make her happy, and the Judge Brock is trying to get them the best deal money they can.
Okay, our next excerpt is from Act 3, and this is the end of Act 3. And I will be playing Loveberg this time.
And I'll be Hedda again. No, wait, I must give you a memento to take with you.
Is this a memento?
Do you recognize it? It was aimed at you once.
You should have used it then.
Take it, and do you use it now?
Thanks.
And beautifully, Eilert Lovberg. Promise me that.
Goodbye, Hedda Gabler.
Now I'm burning your child, Taya. Burning it. Curly locks. Your child and Eilert Lovberg's. I'm burning your child.
Okay. This excerpt kind of just showed that how envious Hedda was towards pretty much everyone in her life, because we took her burning the manuscript as she wasn't allowing anyone to love Loveberg anymore, because they once had a past and they had a history, and by doing that, she was saying, no, Miss Taya can't love him, and she can't love him. She's putting her past out, and she's trying to put Taya's past out, and she's just not letting anyone have a future because she wants to control everyone, and she's putting everything aside just to focus on her because she's pretty much greedy, and she's just trying to make what's best for her and have a lot of deception and envy in her life.
Yeah, by burning the manuscript, she burnt the ability, I guess you could say, to have a relationship with Elliot because she didn't want anybody to love him, she didn't want to love him, and she wanted Miss Taya to love him. And so by burning the manuscript, the love for him was gone.
Okay.
And then our connections to the text was text to society and how people are not who they may come off to be.
Even though you can think you know someone, it's really easy for someone to put on this act and show what they want you to see pretty much, because a lot of what you see from people is only what they show you. And even if you know them, and as shown in the play, if you get married to them, you still don't know them, and their true colors come out once, the cards are out and everything's done with. And it kind of ties back to our other theme, karma, because Hedda gets what she deserves in the end, and by a really, really bad ending for her part, she gets everything she kind of deserves because it all plays out.
Yeah, the memento that she was talking about in the excerpt that we read was a pistol. She gave Elliot a pistol so that he could kill himself because he said he was done living and he didn't want to be with anybody because the manuscript was gone. The manuscript was his life, his child with Miss Taya, and so
that was their love, and she could never really experience true love because of what she had put herself through.
Recommending this book, I would recommend it. I think it's a good reminder that we all need to kind of take precautions when meeting new people, or not new people, but just kind of like understanding people that we know now and how they can be deceiving.
Yeah, because even the people that you think you know and think that you love essentially can be tricking you and are putting you at risk. And we're not saying to buckle up and strap away from the rest of the world, but we're just saying this book has taught us a lot about people and the way they come off and the way that they show you, everyone's true colors. And yeah, it's just taught us a lot about people.
Especially for high schoolers, I think. Girls maybe particularly that could read this book, only because, girls are very, once they hear something, they're like, oh my god, blah, blah, blah. But, anybody's deceiving. Guys are deceiving, girls are deceiving, and I think, especially in this book, Hedda, she was the most deceiving of all, and she deceived her husband, George, and conning him almost into marrying her and getting a house and getting money, and then Judge Brock and getting them the best deal that they could.
Yeah, and you could even take it as far as saying that she deceived Eilert way back when they were, they had their little thing, because she never probably even loved him, and so who knows what she was conning him for, but yeah, she is just on a really sad track in her life.
And it also plays karma, because it does show that if you're deceiving, if you're like that, karma comes back to bite you, and it did for Hedda. And I guess I don't want to ruin it, so you'll have to read the book to find out what happens.
It's really good. It has a lot of cliffhangers, and I personally was enthralled by it, and I couldn't put it down because it leaves you wondering what's going to happen, and you're just like, oh my gosh, this girl is essentially crazy, and you're just like, oh my gosh, what's going to happen? And she is just, so crazy that you just want to know what's going to happen every time you turn a page. And she just puts all these characters in such agony, and you're just like, you feel for them, and I kind of guess we can relate it to text too, because she just puts them all in agony, and it just makes you feel for all the characters.
Yeah. Right on.
Yeah. So that was our book talk. Thank you. We'd recommend it.